A message from Owen Waters. Part of the shift to the new reality involves a change in our experience of the passage of time. People often comment on how time seems to be passing much faster today than it did just 10 or 20 years ago. It's not because we're getting older, it's because our experience of time is changing. This is occurring because the frequency of human consciousness is rising, so the experience of the passage of time has accelerated. The speed of the orbit of the planets is still the same, the speed of light is still the same, and everything in the outside world is still the same, but our experience has changed. Experiential time is the experience of time, as in time flies or time drags. It is subjective, as opposed to the objective time of the outside world. Our internal experience of the passage of time can vary considerably. When a person is not happy in their work, for example, the time clock on the wall seems to take forever to turn and the end of the working day seems to take an eternity to arrive. On the other hand, when a person is joyful and excited about what they are doing, their consciousness is vibrating at a higher frequency and, for them, the experience of time flies at a fast rate. As they say, time flies when you're having fun. Energetically, the difference is that joy is expressed through higher, heart-centered consciousness while boredom takes one deep into the lower frequency of the solar plexus center of consciousness. When you are bored, your perception of time runs slowly because your consciousness vibrates at a slower frequency. When you are filled with joy and engaged in favorite activities with people you love, your consciousness vibrates at a higher frequency and your perception of time runs more quickly. The principle at work here is that the perception of experiential time varies with frequency of consciousness. Experiential time runs faster at higher frequencies. Why the difference matters: the shift from old reality consciousness to new reality, heart-centered consciousness includes a shift in our perception of time. Heart-centered consciousness brings with it an increasing degree of freedom from objective time. It makes life's experiences more important to your consciousness than the passage of time. Life becomes a chain of experiences which seem to expand and contract the time that they take to occur. The objective time continuum is the same, but the perception of the experience is different. The key to understanding this is that, because life in the objective world is a projection of the greater reality that exists within you, then a shift to higher consciousness brings you closer to the reality within. At that point, objective time loses some of its importance and the inner experience of time takes on more importance. How timing will change in the future: as people's frequency of awareness rises up through fourth density consciousness, they will become more attuned to the synchronicity that is offered by an experiential approach to time. The more people become mentally attuned to others, the more they manifest synchronicity in their lives. Eventually, when experiential time is given more attention than objective time, people will arrange to meet each other, not by making appointments in their calendars, but by both knowing when the time is right for such a meeting. At work, the attuned person will know from their soul-fed intuition which task is most important for them to address right at that moment, and this will lead to even more synchronicity with the minds of other, intuitively driven people. The reason intuition works: the intuitive mind senses the reality of all situations in ways that the objective mind of the physical senses cannot. When a situation develops into fruition, in which it can best be addressed for most effect, the intuitive mind has that perfect sense of timing and can help all those involved in handling the situation. In fourth density, heart-centered consciousness, because more attention is placed upon the inner reality than the outer world of clockwork motion, life becomes more fluid and less rigid, based upon an intuitive sense of what action is right at any moment in time. Timing becomes everything, but in a way that the objective, physical mind cannot possibly comprehend. Intuition feeds synchronicity, so the experience of time, with its expansions and contractions, takes on more importance than the fixed pace of the outer world's objective time. Higher consciousness adds more abilities to the ones we have already developed. Intuitive perception leading to perfect synchronicity is a perfect example of the growth that awaits us as we step into the new reality.